What does Yahuwah mean?
Yahuwah means hand of spirit that secures spirit. Because Yahuwah, throughout the beginning of creation, has secured his energy within all forms of matter. Yahuwah is the ether that connects all existence, and he can manifest himself into any form at will.
Yah means he, and Huah means existence. The I am that I am, in all actuality, was Huah Huah, meaning simply existences, or every existence. Huah Huah is the original form of the word that predated YAH. In Hebrew, the repetition of words indicates plurality. For example, in Deuteronomy 14 and 22, Israelite farmers are required to tithe the produce of their field, Shana Shana. In English, we see this as year, year, but it simply means multiple times a year. In Deuteronomy 15 and 20, we see that the firstborn of the herds must be eaten in Yah's chosen place, Shana Ushana. In English, we see this as year and year, but it simply means every year. Joseph rejected sexual advancements from his master's wife, Yom Yom, or every day. In Leviticus 20 and 9, we are told that Ish, or any man that curses his father or mother, shall be put to death. In Judges 16 and 20, Samson awoke from his sleep, thinking that he would break free from Delilah as he did Pa'amah, or every time before. There are hundreds more examples of this in the Hebrew text. Does this mean there are more than one Yah? Not technically. According to Deuteronomy 6 and 4, Yahuwah or Elohim is one, or simply the existences are one. The mistake worshippers often make is personifying the creator of all things. We tend to think of him as an entity instead of as a primordial source. Everything we see is an entity or being. We look at our mother, we look at our brother, we look at our wife, we look at our children, we look at the animals, a bird, a deer, a rabbit, a cat, a dog, a blade of grass, a tree, a rock, and we notice that everything is an individual. Everything is an individual unit. Everything is an entity. Everything is a being. Therefore, we automatically assume that Yah is a personified being, an entity, very similar to all creation. But that cannot be any further from the truth. Yah is omnipresent, meaning he exists within everything and everything exists within him. Psalms 139 clearly states that Yah is omnipresent. David states that there is nowhere one can go to escape the spirit of Yah, whether in the heavens above, the Sheol beneath, or in the depths of the sea. Yah is there. He is in the light, he is in the darkness, and he is in the mother's womb. He is on his throne according to Isaiah 61. He walks upon the clouds according to Nahum 1 and 3. He feeds the animals according to Psalms 147 and 9. He creates the lightnings and the thunders according to 2 Samuel 22 and 14. He dwelt in the Ark of the Covenant according to Exodus 25 and 22. He dwelt in the tabernacle according to Exodus 33 and 7. He dwelt in the temple according to 2 Samuel 7 and 5 through 13. And he went before us in battle every single time we fought a war in righteousness. But also according to 1 Kings 8 and 27, neither the heaven or the earth can contain him. This is why it is such a sin to worship idols. Wood and stone are both resources, microscopic aspects of the primordial source. A rock cannot speak things into existence, neither can a piece of wood deliver you from your oppressor, but the primordial source can.
Think about it like this. All things come from Yah. Yah did not use any materials, any tools, or any machines to create anything in existence. Yah only used his own essence to create everything in existence. That means that everything in existence is a part of YAH. YAH is the source, and all other things are the resource.
Though Yah is omnipresent, his supernatural intervention is not. Supernatural intervention is what we call miracles, the divine, unexplainable phenomena that can happen at the perfect time in the perfect place. These such events will only happen for those who love the Creator. In the Tanakh, whenever a supernatural event happens in a specific location, the text will say, Yah is in this place, as we see in Genesis 28 and 16. If a supernatural event happens that involves the people of Israel, the text states, there is a God in Israel, as we can see in 1 Samuel 17 and 46. If Yah does supernatural things on the battlefield that benefits Israel, the text will always say, Yah was with Israel. If for some reason there was no supernatural intervention, the text states that God hid his face. But these sayings are not literal, because the Creator is always present, but rarely intervenes supernaturally. From an ancient Hebraic poetic perspective, Yah is present where he intervenes, but not limited to those locations. We know that Yah causes all natural events, rain, snow, storms, droughts, earthquakes, tsunami, etc. So therefore we know that Yah is in the midst of all natural phenomena. However, the Hebrew text states in 1 Kings 19 and 11 that Yah was not in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire that broke apart Mount Sinai in the presence of Elijah. When a text states that Yah was not in it, it simply is saying that this event was not supernatural, but a completely normal natural event. What Elijah is witnessing here is a volcanic eruption. Now, on the contrary, the text states in Exodus 13 and 21 that Yah was within the pillar of fire and smoke that led us out of Mizraim, letting us know that this event was by no means natural and 100% supernatural. Many will soon come to learn that the mind of Yah is not a singularity. The feeble dust-made Homo sapien only has one mind, but Yah does not have one mind like us. Innumerable eons ago, Yah realized how to create duplicates of his mind that collect data. In fact, this happened before Yah even said, let there be light. As of today, Yah has a seemingly infinite amount of minds, and your mind is one of them, by the way. All minds have one job, to collect and transmute data back to the source. What is the source, you may ask? The source is the infinite, set-apart mind of Yah. Its job is to receive data and to make the necessary adjustments to further bring balance and order to the universe, which was chaotic from the very beginning of time, and therefore bring further balance to himself. When you call upon the name of Yah, you invoke him spiritually. The source hears you and is listening. This is why it is a sin to take his name in vain. When you say his name, you produce a vocal frequency that resonates with the frequency of the source. Therefore, when the source says, in the place or places where I record my name, that means this specific place has special attention on it by Yah. Everything that happens in those places are being directly recorded by the source. There he is always listening and watching whether you call upon him or not. In other places, data is being transferred indirectly. In Exodus 23 and 20 through 21, the source states that he would send an angel to lead the children of Israel through the wilderness and into Canaan. The source says, obey his voice, because my name is in him. This means that this angel is recording the children of Israel's every move. This angel also had the mind of the source, instead of his own personal mind. This conclusion can be drawn with the context given in the ancient text. Examples of a shared mind are as follows. Moses is told to obey the angel's voice and do all that I speak. Then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. The source says, mine angel shall go before you and bring you into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. And I will cut them off. Then verse 25 states, "And you shall serve Yahuwah your Elohim, and he will baruch your bread and your water, and I will take the sickness away from the midst of thee." Exodus 33:2 states, "I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanite." Verse 3 states that if the source led us into the land himself, he would consume the children of Israel because of their wickedness. This is because the source is an energy that is so high vibrational that low vibrational or sinful people could not be able to stand in his presence. When Yah comes in his angelic form, the energy is a lot safer to be around because the angelic form's frequency is a lot closer to our own frequency as humans. The Creator in his true form did in fact descend on earth before, during the Exodus, when the earth reacted violently to his arrival. That day the earth quaked and the sky was full of lightning and thunder. The heavens opened up and the source descended from heaven in a great fire. No other time did Yah have such an arrival, because every time before this day, if Yah came to earth, it was in the form of an angel. Now you may be wondering, if the Creator Spirit is in all things, how can Yah show himself on earth without the universe itself collapsing into itself? The answer is very simple yet complex. At no point in eternity was 100% of Yah's spirit in one place, as it is physically impossible for all energy to be in one spot. It must be evenly distributed throughout the universe. So at no given point of time is 100% of Yah in one place. Even on his throne, he only displays a small fraction of his glory. As we see in Isaiah chapter 6, Yah's glory fills the entire earth. So even on that great and terrible day, when he descended on the mount, he only displayed a minuscule portion of his might and power. Now let's discuss the elephant in the room. In 2020, I uploaded Hidden in Plain Sight series, where I explained that Yah is an angel. For the most part, I was correct, but I still made some completely erroneous claims. I stated that Yah is not the Most High. Now, when the awakening mind opens up the Torah, they might clearly see that there are two different entities calling themselves the Lord. But my present argument is that both entities are truly the same entity in two different forms, speaking from two different perspectives. In 2022, I seemingly tapped into a new level of consciousness, now that Yah himself has spoken to me several times and gave me several visions while I was in a trance-like state. Because the hand of Yah has been upon me since 2022, I no longer teach what I believe when it comes to Yah. I teach what I know. And what I know is that Yah is the Most High. Not only is Yah the Most High, but he is actually 7 trillion times more vast, powerful, intelligent, and glorious than you can imagine the Most High to be. Therefore, my current position is that Yah is the Most High, but also has an angelic form which is both spiritual and physical if it needs to be. But the truth is, everything that is composed of atoms and photons is a manifestation of Yah, and everything that lacks free will does according to the will of Yah. One must come to understand that all is mind. There is the physical realm, the spiritual realm, and the conscious realm, the mind, the soul, and the body. These three are the foundation of all that we see. The entire physical realm is enclosed within and without the spiritual realm, and the entire spiritual realm is surrounded within and without the conscious realm. Before there was matter, there was spirit. Before there was spirit, there was mind. The mind is the source. The physical realm is like unto the pupil. The spiritual realm is the iris, and the conscious realm is the sclera. All is YAH. What is an angel? Now, before we get into YAH's angelic form, we must first understand what is an angel. For starters, an angel is a spiritual being. There are many spiritual beings besides angels though. But what makes an angel different from any other spiritual being is the fact that they can manifest physically if they want. By default, they have a mind and spirit, but they can also obtain a physical body as well. They can also shapeshift into whatever form they please. As we see as a consistent theme throughout the Tanakh, angels can be seen having sex, eating, as well as wrestling. All things that require a physical body. In Hebrew, angel is malak. Malak is a double meaning word. It could mean king or messenger. Both make sense because there are 70 angels that rule over the 70 nations of the earth mentioned in Genesis 10. There is an angel over all the children of Peleg that were not mentioned in Genesis 10. The Edomites, Moabites, Ammonites, Midianites, etc. However, there is a 71st angel over the nation of Israel, the Most High himself. We can see this in Jasher 9:32 and Deuteronomy 32:9. Because Deuteronomy 32:9 states inheritance, we assume that YAH obtained Israel from someone else. This is what happens when we make assumptions based off of strictly what we see in the English language. I won't be doing this anymore. Hebrew trumps English and should be used when deciding what a text is truly saying. The word for inheritance is nachala, which is used interchangeably with possession. In fact, there is no specific Hebrew word, only for the English word inheritance. The term lot of his inheritance should actually say line of his possession. Also, most kings of the earth to ever exist were simply angels or their offspring. But that's a story for another day. Malak also means messenger or teacher. This is for obvious reasons that does not need to be explained. There's a specific angel called the angel of the presence. In Exodus 33:14, the Creator simply calls it my presence. As we know in the beginning of Exodus 33, Yah states that he will send an angel to lead the Israelites into the land. Then in Exodus 33:11, Yah spoke to Moses face to face in the tent of meeting. But further down in the chapter in verse 20, Moses is no longer in the tent, he turned into the camp. At this time, Yah states that no man can see my face and live. At face value, this looks like a contradiction, but it's not. Moses is speaking to two different forms of spirit, a lesser spirit and a great spirit. But both the lesser spirit and the great spirit are Yah. Further context of the chapter proves this. In verse 12, Moses tells Yah, "You have not let me know whom you will send with me." Moses is referring to the angel that Yah said he would send. In other words, Moses is saying, "You told me to lead this people, but now you're sending an angel with me, and I still don't know this angel on a personal level." Then Yah responds to Moses, "My presence shall go with you, and I will give you rest." As we can see in this verse, Yah calls this angel my presence. It's still Yah, but in a less glorious form. As Israel was too low vibrational to dwell amongst the Most High in such a powerful form. Verse 15, Moses then says, pay attention to this. "If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here. How will anyone know that you are pleased with me and with your people unless you go up with us?" What else would distinguish us from all the other people on the face of the earth? So Moses knows that the angel and Yah are one. But Moses simply wanted to know Yah himself on a personal level. This is why Moses said previously in verse 13, "If you are pleased with me, teach me your ways, so that I may continue to find favor with you." Moses is asking Yah to teach him your ways. But he also said, "I still don't know who you will send with me." Moses knows that the angel that Yah sends is Yah, but in a personal form. And Moses wants to know Yah on a personal level. This whole time, Moses simply viewed Yah as the most powerful God, but Moses simply had no clue what Yah's personality was like. This is why he stated in the beginning of the conversation, "You still have not let me know who you are sending with me." In other words, Moses said, "You still have not let me know who you are." Then Moses asked to see Yah's glory. Yah then accepts his offer. Yah says, "You cannot see my face, for no man can see my face and live." It's important to know that Yah can take any form that he pleases, but his form of choice that he chooses to showcase to both flesh and spirit is the illuminated human form. The story finishes in Exodus 34, where Yah tells Moses to chisel the stone tablets again and be ready in the morning and come back to Mount Sinai, saying, "No man can come with you, or be seen anywhere on the mountain. Not even the flocks or the herds may graze near the mountain." When Moses finally goes up to the top of the mountain early in the morning, then Yah himself stood on the mountain with Moses and then passed before Moses. And Yah described to Moses his personality. Yahuwah, Yahuwah Elohim, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and fourth generation. When Moses came down, his face shone like the sun. This is because Moses was the only man to behold this much of Yah's glory. As we can see, this is very different from what is presented to us in Exodus chapter 24 and verse 10. In Exodus 24 and verse 10, Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 elders of Israel, this is 74 people total, actually see Yah himself standing upon Mount Sinai. All of these people were on top of Mount Sinai looking upon Yah. If this was Yah in his glorious form, then those 74 people would have all walked down the mountain with an illuminated face just as Moses did. And also, Yah would not have been standing still as he was in Exodus 24 and 10. He would be moving and trying to hide his face to not kill those 74 people. So as we can clearly see, this is Yah in a much different form. This is Yah in the form of the angel of the presence, the angel that presents himself to humanity, because the Most High in his glorious form cannot present himself to humanity without humanity dying. Isaiah 63 and 8 says that Yah is our Savior. And we know from several other scriptures that Yah is our only Savior. And no one else can save us. But in the very next verse, Isaiah 63 and 9, it states that the angel of Yah's presence saved us from Egypt and led us into the land. Therefore, Yah was an angel. Yah's angelic form led us into the land. However, Yah's true form, which we call the Most High, or simply the highest frequency in existence, could not lead us into the land. Because, again, it's the highest frequency in existence. It only appeared on earth twice. The time the heavens and earth shook, and the time Moses asked to see its glory. The highest frequency in existence, also known as the Most High, cannot lead the children of Israel out of the wilderness into the land
because the children of Israel were operating on a low frequency of sin, and they would die from YAH's energy. Therefore, YAH's angelic form, which is a lower frequency, was the only frequency suitable to lead the children of Israel into the land. Again, we need to stop thinking that YAH is a person. We need to stop thinking that he's restricted to a body. It's just not true. I remember one of my visions of YAH was YAH sitting down. He was illuminated with orange light. There was a rainbow around him, and there was bright orbs rotating around him like electrons. He looked like basically an atom. They were spinning around him in every direction with great speed. And I looked, and YAH started to divide himself like cellular division. There was one YAH at first, then there was 2, then there was 4, then there was 16, and the numbers continued to go on until there was a whole bunch of YAHs until it formed another YAH. And when I looked at this, I realized what it meant after months and months of thinking about it. The YAH is in everything, and everything is in YAH. The atoms, the cells, every single unit of existence, YAH is there. He's not a singularity. That's why he's called the existences. You have to understand this. Every time YAH presented himself to man, he came in his lesser angelic form, besides the time he was on Mount Sinai. Genesis chapter 18 tells us that 3 men appeared to Abraham. One of the men told Abraham that Sarah would conceive. Then in verse 13, Yahuwah himself pops up in the conversation. Perhaps this is a hint. In verse 22, 2 of the men leave Abraham and go to Sodom. But Yahuwah remained and stood with Abraham. This means that one of the men were actually YAH in a humanoid angelic form. In chapter 19, those 2 men appear in the land of Sodom and speak to Lot. But this time, the men were called angels, meaning YAH himself was also possibly an angel. In Genesis 28, YAH appears to Jacob in a dream in Luz, which he later called Bethel. In Genesis 31, Jacob has another dream, but this time an angel speaks to him. The angel of God appears to him, and the angel said, I am the God that appeared to you in Bethel, where you anointed the pillar, and where you vowed a vow unto me. But it just said that YAH himself appeared to Jacob in the dream. But now an angel is saying that I am the God that appeared to you in Bethel. So that means that YAH himself that appeared to Jacob even in the dream was in his angelic form. But as we know, Jacob dedicated that altar to YAH himself, not some random angel. In Genesis 48:16, Jacob literally called YAH an angel. But if we go back to verse 3, Jacob recognized that this entity is indeed God Almighty. In Exodus chapter 3, an angel appears to Moses in the form of fire, and this angel calls himself the God of our fathers and the I am that I am. This is self-explanatory. Let's take a step back. In Genesis 32, Jacob wrestles a man all night, and the man changes his name to Israel. Well, when we cross-reference to Hosea 12:4, it states that this man was an angel. But in Isaiah 45:4, YAH is the one who named us, which means that YAH is the angel that wrestled with Jacob. And since Jacob was strong enough to beat YAH in YAH's humanoid form, Jacob was named Israel. In Judges chapter 2, the angel of YAH was traveling on the ground, and appeared to the children of Israel and told the children of Israel that I am the God of your fathers. So this angel basically calls himself Yah himself, which again indicates that Yah, when he comes down to speak to the children of Israel, he comes down in his angelic form. His angelic form, however, in this particular case, was a humanoid angelic form, which means that he looked like a human. He never appears to the children of Israel looking any type of glorious, because he doesn't want us to make any graven images of him. When he was on the Mount Sinai, he appeared with no similitude at all, no form or figure. When the angel led us into the land, he was in a pillar of cloud and fire, and no one saw the angel himself. And when the angel presented himself to man many times, people just thought that this angel was a regular person, but it was actually Yah in a humanoid angelic form. When the Romans found out that the Israelites knew these things, they added a hijack to our book called the New Testament, which states that Yah came down in human form, which Yah did in many times in the Old Testament. However, the Romans who wrote the New Testament messed up when they stated that he was born of a woman. When Yah comes down in human form, he never is born of a woman. He always manifests himself into a human. He never has to be born of a woman. Also, he would never die for the sins of Israel, because no one can die for the sins of another, according to Deuteronomy 24:16. Once a person starts to understand the science of the priest or Kohanology, we will see that a human cannot be a sacrifice, because humans are low vibrational, especially when they were beaten and whipped and tortured in the fashion that Christ was. This is why every single sacrifice that we offered had to be without blemish. No wounds, no cuts, no scrapes, no burns. Can't be blind, can't be deaf, can't be lame, or anything of that nature. The animal must be perfect in every single way, and it could not be injured because it could not have any suffering. The animal must be killed quickly. It cannot be tortured because it cannot have any form of low vibrational negative energy on it when it's being offered to Yah. However, with the case of Christ, Christ was beat, tortured, whipped, and suffered excruciating pain when he was put to death. Therefore, his sacrifice would technically be null and void, because for one, he's a human, so by default he's already an unclean creature, and for two, he has a lot of low vibration energy on him because he suffered so much when he died. He was not without blemish, and he was not a beast that chewed the cud and split the hoof. Therefore, he was not a suitable sacrifice for all Israelites. It is important for us to note that all angels are manifestations of Yah with a different mind and free will. All these angels are receivers that transmit data back to the source, just as we do. Some angels are wicked, just like some humans are as well. This is because angels and humans both have free will. Now, what would you do with that free will? It's all up to you. However, your mind is still connected to the mind of Yah. Yah can tap into your mind any given time. This is how every prophet heard the voice of Yah. They didn't hear him from the sky. They heard him from their own mind. Because Yah is within each and every single one of us, and each and every single one of us is within Yah.
You will soon come to understand that everything Yah is doing right now is to purify the world and to purify himself. Just the action of everybody dying and going to the place that they go to after their death is a form of purification. Him destroying the wicked on the day of his wrath as well as the wicked angels is a purification. He's trying to purify the universe, to continuously clean it, and to therefore cleanse himself. Just like everybody has goals, Yah has goals as well. And one of Yah's goals is to obtain purity, 100% good in the universe, 100% love in the universe, 100% righteousness in the universe. This is what we will see under the new covenant, when all the wicked angels are destroyed and all wicked humans are destroyed. Then the universe and therefore Yah will be perfectly good, whole, and complete. 2 Chronicles 16 and 9 states that the eyes of Yahuwah run to and fro the earth, which would indicate that the angels that watch over humanity are simply just the eyes of Yah. I used to question the authenticity of the word Elohim, since our God is one, and I just refer to him as Allah. However, I no longer question the authenticity of the word Elohim. Since I learned more about the Hebrew language, I learned that Elohim is both singular and plural at the same time. It is a concretized abstract plural. Similar to the English word dear, it can both be singular and plural. All the beings in the universe are truly one. However, the objective is to worship only the original mind that existed before the duplicates, the source, Oyan. Yah himself is that source. And even that angel that led us into the land shared the same mind with Oyan and had that same mind that existed for all eternity. All praises to the Most High.